Yeah, so what could I possibly have against a rule that restricts the dialogue of female characters? Hi, I'm Lulu. Welcome to my channel. Before we start, do me a favor, please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. I'm sure I will be accused of being a pick-me girl for this. That's a term I just learned, and it means that I want male attention for being not like other girls. I don't know, my husband provides more than enough male attention for me. Honestly, he could stand to dial it down a little. Besides, if I actually wanted male attention, there are far easier kinds of videos I could make that don't involve effort and brainpower of writing weekly essays, but let's not dwell on what those might entail. I'd get a ton more followers with a lot less effort, though. So, what is the Bechdel test for those who don't know? Well, this is a test to determine whether a story is feminist enough by featuring at least two women having a conversation about something other than a man. Okay, interesting. Do male characters have any restrictions on what they're allowed to talk about? Yeah, didn't think so. If you're in favor of using this test on your own writing, let me ask you this. Do you allow your male characters to have so much power over your female characters that you let it control what these women can talk about? As for me, I'm just not in favor of restricting what the women I write about are permitted to discuss. That just doesn't come off as very feminist to me. Now, I understand that some of these ideas first came about to make female characters more like real people rather than one-dimensional background figures. Fair enough. I'm not an advocate for going back to the old ways on how female characters were portrayed or anything, but female characters talking about the important people affecting the plot around them, half of whom are likely to be men, does not make them one-dimensional. Even thinking on my own writing, in which female characters are fleshed out three-dimensional people, I don't think any of it would pass this test. I suppose I could comb through my manuscripts and seek out every line of dialogue a woman has to see if there's some conversation with another lady that I'm forgetting, but I don't care enough. I feel more than secure in the merit of those characters without policing their speech. My most recent completed novel has a female main character who's traveling with her aunt, as well as a male bodyguard. The two women obviously have many conversations together, several that are just between the two of them, and no man is present. But the main character is a very recent widow who also is being chased by a bounty hunter, male, while her aunt is on a mission to avenge her brother's murder. They've got a lot to talk about, and much of that involves, well, men. These men are important figures in their lives, for better or worse, so it's only natural they discuss them for both plot purposes and character growth. And avoiding these topics would be preposterous, and it would gut the heart of these character arcs. My current work in progress has a male protagonist, but there are several important female characters. These are powerful women, some good, some villainous, who change the course of their world's history. Real movers and shakers, a queen, a countess, a magical spirit, a goddess. But according to the Bechdel test, this story isn't feminist enough because there's never an on-screen conversation between any of them. Not that we see in real time anyway. There's dialogue indicating that some of them have had conversations with each other in topics that have nothing to do with any particular man. But since the story is all from the point of view of my male main character, he's not present for them. I could crowbar such a scene in and have him standing there watching the chit-chat go down just to pass muster, but it would be nothing more than excess for the sake of this silly test. It's not necessary, and it would make the execution of the story worse because we don't need to see the conversations. We just need to know they happened, and I've done that. So yeah, my story where all these powerful women play politics, struggle through loss, or sacrifice themselves for the good of the world doesn't pass the Bechdel test, but something like this would.
Good morning, Drizella. Sleep well?
As if you care. Take that ironing and have it back in an hour. 1 hour, you hear?
Yes, Drizella.
I mean, that qualifies, but I'm just not feeling any girl power there. Interestingly enough, if there were a reverse Bechdel test, which of course there isn't, why would there be? We let male characters talk about anything and anybody they want. I don't think my books would pass that test either. Anytime two or more of my male characters are speaking without women present, female characters are brought up in conversation. It's almost as if these are important characters regardless of gender whose impact on the story is so vital it requires the other characters to reckon with it. Like, as if their gender is not a relevant factor to their importance. Again, it's possible there's some scene or another that would pass a hypothetical reverse Bechdel test, but I'm just not remembering because, again, I do not care. By no means am I saying that I have a problem with scenes where two gals hash out something or another and they never happen to bring up a guy. Whatever. Again, maybe such a conversation does in fact appear in some of my books and I'm just not paying enough attention to realize because of how little I care. I mean, if such a scene should naturally come up in a story and serve the plot or characters in some way, why not? I'm all for it. But it should not be some performative, artificial conversation just to measure up to some arbitrary rule. Tell the story as it needs to be told, not as others demand you tell it. I propose a different test. Here's how it goes. Are all the main characters, both male and female, fleshed out, multi-dimensional people who move the plot forward? Then bingo, you pass, good job. But that's just this writer's opinion. What's your take on the Bechdel test? Am I missing the point? Is there something I'm just not seeing here? Drop your comments down below. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell for more content like this in the future, and I'll see you in the next video.